Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're jumping into a real powerhouse of the English language, the present simple. Now I know, it sounds basic, but trust me, it's got a few surprises up its sleeve that are going to make your English way more precise and honestly more powerful. So let's dive right in.
So what do these three things have in common? A scientific fact, a train schedule, and an incredible soccer goal. Sounds like a riddle, right? Well, believe it or not, they are all perfectly connected by the present simple tense. And by the end of this, you're going to see exactly how.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the basics, truths and routines. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, how this tense can actually talk about the future. After that, we'll cover some really specific uses like sports commentary and conditionals, and then we'll wrap it all up with the one big idea you need to remember.
Okay, first up, truths and routines. This is the present simple you probably know and love. It's all about describing the world as it is, right now, in a general sense. Chances are you already use it this way without even thinking twice about it. So, its number one job, stating facts. We use it for things that are just true. Scientific laws, simple statements about the world that just don't change. They're basically set in stone. I mean, just look at these. People need food. That's a basic fact of life, right? It snows in winter here describes a general truth about the climate. And 2 and 2 make 4. Well, that's as certain as it gets. The present simple is our go-to for these kinds of unchanging truths.
Next up, we use it for situations that feel, pretty permanent, or at least long-term. This isn't just about huge universal facts, but about the stable, ongoing things in our own lives. And these examples just nail it. When someone asks, "Where do you live?" they're not asking where you're crashing for the night. They mean your home base. She works in a bank, tells us about her career, not just a temp job. Even something like, "I don't like mushrooms," is about a long-term preference. These are all stable parts of our reality. Okay, to really see the difference, check this out. On the left, "she works in a bank" suggests that's her permanent job. But on the right, "she is working in Paris this week," using the present continuous, tells us it's just for a short time. That little change in tense makes a huge difference in meaning. It's absolutely crucial. And then, of course, we've got habits and routines, the stuff we do over and over again. This is where you'll almost always see those frequency words popping up. Like always, often, or on every Tuesday. Just think about it. If someone asks, "Do you smoke?" they're not asking if you have a cigarette in your hand right now. They're asking about a regular habit. Or, "I play tennis every Tuesday. That's a fixed part of my weekly schedule." The present simple is perfect for capturing those repeating rhythms in our lives.
All right, let's move on because this is where the present simple starts to get a little sneaky. We're actually going to use it to talk about the future. Yeah, you heard that right, the future.
So here's the twist. We use the present simple for future events that are locked into a schedule or a timetable. Now, the key thing here is that these plans are usually set by someone else, like an organization. You can almost think of them as facts, just future facts. So the big idea here is that these events are out of your hands. The school decides when class begins. The cinema sets the movie time. The airline publishes the schedule. Because the plan is so official and so firm, we treat it like it's a fact, even though it hasn't happened yet. And here's another cool future use. You know those sentences that have two parts, like a main action and a time condition? Well, we use the present simple in the part with the time word. Words like when, until, after, and as soon as. Let's just walk through this one together. So step 1, you've got your main future plan, "I will call you." Step 2, you connect it with a time word, like when. And now for step 3, and this is where a lot of people trip up. The condition is in the present simple. We say, "when I have time," not "when I will have time." It's a huge rule to remember. All right, on to our third section, the special cases. This is where the present simple gets to be a little dramatic, used in really specific situations for a very cool effect. First up, something you've definitely heard if you've ever watched a game: sports commentary. When you're describing a bunch of actions happening one after another, super fast, the present simple makes it feel like you're right there in the middle of it all. It's immediate. It's electric. So just picture it. The commentator is shouting, "He takes the ball." The energy is building, the crowd is roaring, he runs down the wing. And then that final amazing moment, and he scores. See what I mean? That quick sequence of verbs puts you right on the field. It makes it all feel like it's happening right now.
And finally, the present simple is an absolute must-have for conditional sentences. You know, those if-then statements we use all the time to talk about cause and effect? It always shows up in the if part of the sentence.
There are two main types you gotta know. The zero conditional is for stuff that is 100% true. Every single time. If you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. It's like a scientific formula. Then there's the first conditional for a real possibility in the future. If it rains, we won't come. See the pattern? The if part is present simple, and the result points to what will happen.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. What's the simple takeaway? Well, the present simple is really the tense of certainty. Think about it. We use it for things that are certain, like facts and habits. And we even use it for the future, when those events are so certain, so locked in, that they're basically facts, like a schedule. It's the tense for things we can count on.
So there you have it. From facts about the universe to your plans for tomorrow, this tense does a whole lot of heavy lifting. It's way more than just simple. It's an essential part of your English toolkit. So the big question is, now that you know all the rules, how are you going to use the present simple today?